The real-life drama of Real Housewives of Miami star Joanna Krupa. I'm Highland Hollywood for the Daily Buzz on CelebBuzz.com.
Yeah, oh my God.
Is everything okay?
No, not everything is okay. Romain went out. He left his computer on and his emails, and I don't know, something was telling me to check his emails, and I did, and I wish I didn't because I found things that I wish I didn't, about text messages back and forth and just flirting. I don't know.
Oh my God.
There you have it, Joanna busting her longtime fiance Romain Zago, possibly cheating on her via email. But was that the reason she called off their 5-year engagement? Let's find out from the woman herself. Joining me from New York is Joanna Krupa. Dzień dobry, pani.
Dzień dobry, kochanie.
First of all, your thoughts when you hear that clip?
It's really heartbreaking. It reminds me of the moment in my life at that time, and it was tough. I mean, it was something shocking when I found the emails because, you know, he was like the last person on the planet that I ever thought would be capable of even, you know, the flirtatious emails. We were going through tough times in the relationship, but that gave no excuse for me finding those emails.
Right. So, I mean, did we get to the bottom of this? I mean, was this the breaking point or was there more?
Well, I mean, during the show, the filming of the show, I was there for 3 months straight. Like, our whole issue with our relationship is because we're bi-coastal. It's a huge problem because I'm not willing to step back with my career. You know, he has a business to run and other businesses that he's working on. So after the show was done filming, I just went back to my, you know, work and constant traveling, and that ended up in a lot of fighting back and forth and, you know, kind of taking each other for granted by being together for so many months. And over 3 weeks ago, it was when we officially broke up. I mean, I don't know why the media was so delayed in the breakup, the official breakup, but it was over 3 weeks ago. And I will say that was like the hardest thing I've ever had to do in 5.5 years of our relationship, and I was just devastated. I was traveling. I thought, you know, being away from LA, being away from Miami, it would make things better. The reason it happened was because I needed Joanna time, because when I found those emails, we were filming the show, so I didn't really have a chance to deal with the situation like I normally would. I probably would have just packed up and left and thought about everything that has happened, but because we were in the production of the show, I didn't want to, you know, basically put a halt to the production and cause drama with everybody else and, you know, people resenting me for it. So I kind of just dealt with it the way I could on the show. But as the show started airing and we were getting a huge fight 3 weeks ago, I'm like, you know what, I've had enough. I can't deal with this anymore. And I was also going through a lot of family issues, like a big crisis between my sister and I, which, you know, I don't really want to get into because we're better now. And when I came back in town this past weekend on Saturday, my mother, because my mother is the one that's like, Joanna, you guys love each other. You know, now with the show airing, people want to bring you down. People want you guys to break up. You know, the emails, it happened so many months ago. You need to get over it. You need to trust him. You know, he's telling you he didn't cheat on you. You need to either trust him if you love him, and I know that you love him to death. So I came back from Poland, and my mom basically had him fly out to LA and had a little sit down with us. And you know what? The thing is, we just can't live without each other. I mean, as crazy as that sounds, it's just, I needed that Joanna time. But I can tell you, you're the first one that we are officially back together.
Wow, okay. And you have no reservations moving forward?
I don't, because you know what? I just needed that time apart. Being apart from him for 3.5 weeks, not returning his calls, not returning his text messages, basically just focusing on my life. I was missing a big part of me, you know, and I was just devastated. And what made it harder was, you know, I was constantly working, doing interviews, and deep inside I was dying. But as being such a strong person, you know, I wanted to show people I'm fine, everything's great, everything's happy. But the only person knew that I was, you know, really hurting inside was my mom. And she's like, I can't watch this any longer. You guys love each other. You guys need to work this out. And she, you know, and she's kind of like the hero of the whole reconciliation, because we're both stubborn. So I probably would have not, you know, handed out, be like, hey, let's make things up, or him, because he was pissed off at me. He, you know, when we got in the fight the last time I was in Miami, he couldn't believe it. He's like, because we have a very hot and cold relationship. You know, we fight like probably every couple does, you know, and we say things that we don't mean. And I think for a moment he didn't think I meant it. And at that time I did mean it, but I didn't realize how hurt I was.
Well,
And
you're a Polish woman, so of course you're going to be stubborn. That's just natural. Are there any relationship parameters that you've set moving forward? Are you allowed to go through his emails whenever you want? What can you do that's going to make yourself feel better so you never have to doubt him moving forward?
No, I mean, the only reason I did check those emails was, you know, 5.5 years in a relationship, I never doubted him forever. And people talk in Miami, people talk in LA. And during the time I was in Miami, people were saying, oh yeah, this girl. I'm like, what the heck is going on? You know, I knew this girl. You know, she's been around for like 5 years, so I knew of her. I was never really a friend of hers. So I'm like, something inside was telling me, check the emails, and I checked it. So, but moving forward, you know, he promised me that if there's any issues in our relationship again, he's going to talk to me. But I'm not the easiest person also to talk to, so I'm not going to give him the full blame. But if I found out that he physically had a relationship with her and anything happened beyond the flirtatious emails, then there would be nothing for us to talk about.
I want to roll a clip here from your last visit on the Daily Buzz back in September. You sat down with Dylan Howard. Let's take a look.
I feel deprived. I'm deprived of sex. I am. Yes, I am deprived. I will say it to you, I am deprived.
How are you deprived of sex?
Because I don't get as much as I would like to.
How much is enough? How much is enough?
God, every day would be nice.
God.
Can I get an update on that? How are you doing in that department?
Well, him being in LA for the last, 2 days before I came here, we had some good, some good makeup sex. I will at least I'll give you that, but we'll see what the future holds. You know, hopefully it won't go back to where it was. But I think it was a good. I believe that, for what I did when I broke up with him over 3 weeks ago, I think it was a good wake-up call for him. And, hopefully things will get better. I mean, we need to, because we're both very hard-headed. We're very ambitious. We're both living the American dream, basically, and none of us wants to step back away from our careers. So we got to figure it out. I mean, obviously, we know that we love each other and we don't want to be apart from each other, but the bi-coastal situation is really bad. So hopefully he will make the move to LA and figure out, somebody else to run his business in Miami. And that's the goal right now, is to get him to LA. So at least we're living from the same location, even though we'll always be traveling. He'll be going to Miami and dealing with his other businesses. And I'm always going to be traveling, because unless I age really bad in the next few years, I'm not planning to hold back my career. And I've never relied on a man. That's one thing, and I want to make it clear to people. When I met him 6 years ago, I was the one that had a career. I was the one that was working. I bought my first house when I was 25 years old, and he was in debt. He didn't have much money. So I don't want people to think, oh, she's with him for the money, because I so am not,
Well, and you're doing big things. People don't know, but you host in Poland, the next top model version over there, and you're doing a lot of big things for yourself. So
actually, I have a skincare line out of Poland, which is going to go to Europe, Asia, hopefully soon in America. I also have a lingerie line out in Europe, and I'm working on an anti-aging face cream, which hopefully will be out in 2013 here in the States.
See, you're doing big things. Joanna Krupa, dziękuję bardzo pani.
Dziękuję, kochanie. Mwah.
Okay, cześć. Now, if you want to watch The Real Housewives of Miami, Thursday nights on Bravo. That's all you got to do. And for the latest stories breaking right now, head on over to celebbuzz.com.